back is like an entire wall, like a warehouse, just full.
Royal Mint Experience.
That never happened, so yeah.
That's it. Here we are at the Royal Mint Experience, 3 of us. There's me and the two behind me, Steve and Scott, and we're going to go in there now, and hopefully we're going to be able to show you how to get A to Z 10p's for 20p each. Got to watch this.
73p per cheddar and get back in cash.
Here we are.
Star Luft, look at it.
Now we have to be a bit careful because I got told off yesterday for trying to video. Well, take pictures. I was trying to take pictures of the fascia, which is up there. So one postcard and £1 coin, and we should get 5 20p's worth 15 quid on one.
I want a money box. Where do you find a money box? Oh, I thought you had one. Sometimes, yeah. But like I say, if we've run out.
Hello. One of those, please. Thank you. Thank you. 10p's for the change. Thanks, love. Right.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
What have we got? We've got a U, another U, another U, another U, and another U. That's all right. 5 U's, still worth 15 quid at least. Although, what year are they? Can't see about my glasses.
2018, are they?
18s. So they're still worth 3-4 quid each. 5 of them, 15-20 quid for a postcard. You could throw the postcard away, or in our case, we're going to sign it all and see if we can't sell the postcards as ephemera. So there you go. That's how to get A to Z 10p's for 20p each at the Royal Mint. Come down and get some. Yep. Right, so there we are. That's my little haul from going in there and buying postcard after postcard after postcard and handing £1 over with a postcard which was 50p and getting 5 10p's in my change. And then it's worth just, you know, if you've got no other use for them, you could rip out the postcard and throw it away. And you've paid 20 pence each for every single 10 pence. I've lost count how many I've got there, but, you know, at 3 or 4 quid each, and they're all uncirculated, so, you know, 3, 4, some of them even fetch as much as 8, 9 quid each. You know, you can't fault it. The only problem is that the Royal Mint are just, they put more and more and more and more rules and make it harder and harder and harder for people to just get a few coins. So there you have it. How to get as many 10p A to Z's as you want for 20 pence each at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant in Wales. You find the cheapest item they sell, which for us happened to be the postcard at 50 pence each. So we just kept going up, all of us, we just kept going up with one postcard, give them £1, get 50p change, then go and get another postcard and go up and give them £1 and get 50p change. And we did that over and over and over again for a couple of hours. And as you can see, we've got enough 10p's here. I got enough 10p's to pay for my trip. This trip has cost me 300 or 400 quid, and I will make that just on the 10p's that I got at 20 pence each. So that will pay for my trip. And it can pay for your trip too. It's that easy. All you got to do is use their own rules back at them. You know, they put the rules in, no more than 5 coins per transaction. And I asked them, although there's no more than 5 coins per transaction, is there any limit on the number of transactions? They looked at each other and said, no, there's no limit on the number of transactions. So I said, fine, that will do us nicely. And we've been going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards doing it. However, today, a couple of people were singled out and told they could only do it a maximum of 5 times. And that's part of the reason why I do what I do, because the Royal Mint do not treat people fairly. Today I saw 2 disabled people, I'm not kidding you, a disabled man and his wife, and they were booked on the Royal Mint Experience, and she was in so much pain that she couldn't continue round to do the experience, to go round and get her paid for Strike Your Own. Right, she paid for it, but she was in too much pain. She needed to get out of there, so they came out. They explained their position to the people and said, can my wife just can you get a Strike Your Own for my wife? She's paid for it. He was able to go round on his mobile scooter and get one. She was also on a mobile scooter, and like I say, she was in too much pain, and they refused. They gave her the money back for the Strike Your Own. They refused to give her the Strike Your Own coin, and I thought that was absolutely disgusting. I didn't want to mar the day for anybody else. I didn't want to cause a problem. I didn't want to have a row, but I saw this going on, and I thought that was just absolutely disgusting. This disabled person in a scooter, in a lot of pain, and you can't give that person the Strike Your Own that they paid for. You couldn't let their husband go round and strike the coin for her. How dare you? That's just disgusting. It's outrageous. And I'm so against that. I'm so against the way that the Royal Mint play around with their rules. I got in trouble yesterday for taking photographs outside. Not allowed to take photographs outside. There's not a single sign saying you can't take photographs outside. And the person inside told us, once we went through, you could take as many photographs as you like. But lo and behold, there was Ian taking photographs, using his camera outside in a public space, so sort of. And I'm accosted by the old security, and I'm told off, and I'm told that I can't take photographs. It's a nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense, the way that they treat people on a one-to-one basis in that sense, you know. So that's why I do what I do, because I don't like all that. I don't like all the singling out. I don't like all the discrimination that the Royal Mint do. And what I saw them do today to a disabled lady, that was beyond, above and beyond stupid, poor, ridiculous, terrible customer service, absolutely outrageous, despicable, and every other bad name you can think of. I'd like to shove that down Mr. McDade's throat after what I saw today. I thought it was terrible. But there you go. Anyway, we managed to get that lady sorted out. We managed to get her sorted out and get her a Strike Her Own, and off she went happy as Larry. But the Royal Mint, naughty, naughty, naughty. Anyway, now you know how to get your 10p's for 20p each. Do what Ian did. Go down there, and they've said, even though one of the other lads got restricted on his transactions, but they told me there is no limit on the transactions. So go down and go backwards and forwards and drive them mad all day long. There you go, how to get it for 20p. Right then, so we're on our way back now, me and Scott. He's driving, and I don't know if it'd probably be too loud in the background, so I'm sort of raising my voice a bit. So we just left the Mint again. I had a couple of issues there this morning. I had words with the manageress, who was lovely, 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 lovely lady, and put her point across ever so nicely, but still, as I was saying to her, you know, at the moment you're changing the rules on a daily basis, and that's not fair. You know, yesterday it was no limit on the number of transactions, or Friday it was no limit on the number of transactions, and today there's a limit of 10 transactions per person. Even though they wasn't particularly busy, I mean, there was only about a dozen people in there, if that. You know, I think only one of the tables, a huge dining room with 50 tables in it, 50 dining tables in it, only one of them was being used. It was empty, but still, people could only have a maximum of 10 transactions. And as we all expected and suspected, they were waiting for us this morning. They knew we were coming in, and they were ready, because within 5 minutes of walking in there, we had the manageress coming up to us. So they were ready and waiting for that. And so that's the way it is. So it's a maximum 10 transactions per person. However, you can notice that the person behind the counter, again, you have to use their things against them. Use all the wiles against them. You know, they're trying to box clever and stop you having it. So you got to box clever in making sure you get it. And if you watch what you're doing, which we did, all of us, you know, you get to notice that, oh, that person on the till, they're going for their break. There's a new person coming on the till. That new person coming on the till hasn't seen us get any coins. let's go over there and get 10. You know, and then they have their shift change and then wait for that to happen and so on. I mean, I was talking to somebody that lives down there, lives literally within walking distance of the Mint, and goes in there several times a week to be able to take advantage of the rules that they put in place that allow him to get what he's allowed to get, as it were. You know, and somebody can make a comfortable living just going into the Royal Mint every day. If I lived there, I'd be walking in there every day getting the maximum amount of 10p's I could get. You could make a living out of that until they stop you. And this morning, you know, they started being all rules again and changing the rules again, and which I said to them, you know, it's not fair you change the rules. You have the rules, you should stick to them. Whatever the rules are, that's the rules, stick to it. But they don't like it when somebody comes along, finds a way to earn a few quid. You know, apparently they used to have, on the Strike Your Own, you used to be able to get free coins. So you pay for one Strike Your Own experience, 20 quid, and you get free coins at 6 quid each or whatever they are. So 26 quid, you know, to get one coin is a bit much, isn't it? But when you can get free coins and then take 2 of those coins home, sell them on eBay, and make a profit on your cost of your experience, that makes it worthwhile for people. And a Royal Mint, they jump on that, they clamp down on that because they're not having it. Not having it. You make money, not having it. Customers come in here, make a few quid, not having it. So that's why they change it and change it and change it, and it's all about changing it to suit themselves and suit their own pocket. And as much as they pretend that all the changes they make are based on coin collectors and for the coin collecting community, I think we've proved this weekend. I mean, everybody's had a great time. I've had a great time. I'm probably the only one who's moaning, but I've had a great time. But they've proved to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's money, 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 and they don't give a monkeys about the coin collectors. The whole thing is all about the money that they can make out of it, as much as they can possibly make out of it. And when we was on the experience, they knew we was, you know, so it's a shame it has to be this way when it can't just be nice, easy, friendly. You know, I was telling them when I was having a conversation, there's people here coming from all over the country, people coming from the tip of Scotland, you know, and now you're changing the rules. And they're only coming in here on the way home, and now you're changing the rules. It's not fair. You know, yesterday it was one thing, and the day before it was something else. These guys are on their way back to catch a plane, and you've changed the rules on them again. Outrageous. Anyway, this is it. This is my vid on how to get all your letters for 20p each. And then 3 times a week you can go in there and you can swap letters. Today we picked up 15 S's, which are worth nearly 10 quid each. You know, not far off. So that was 150 quid in worth of coins in quarter of an hour. You know, so it can be done. So get down there and get a load, and try and do it, work your pricing out, etc. And if you do it right, it pays for your entire trip. Now that has got to be worth having. To get your Royal Mint experience, get down there, have a look at their shops, see all the stuff that they've got in there, because it is a wicked experience, there's no doubt about that. It's worth doing. It's not worth doing just to get one Strike Your Own coin, because then you have to keep going round and listening to the boring rubbish. But
and you can only go once a day.
And you can only go once a day. You know, they've made that rule now, so you can't even go 2 or 3 times in one day. Load of old pony. Anyway, this is Ian, www.greatbeastcoinhunt.com.